Good morning, everybody. Today is July 19th, and this video is all about AMC stock because it has been popping off lately, plus 5%, plus 5%, plus 5%, back-to-back days. I would like to teach you how to trade this stock. I'm at my stream setup, so let's just get right into things. I will pull up the AMC chart over here. Ignore all this stuff, that's just for my daily live trading streams. We're gonna focus on this main chart over here with AMC. As you can see today, kind of following SPY, we have a gap up and then a red move down. Today, it's much more accentuated in AMC. We had this gap up and then a big red move down. What's going on is AMC has slowly been trending up. You can see I have a few support and resistance levels that I drew out on this chart. I'm gonna get rid of those for now. You can see that AMC has been slowly trending up. I will draw in this trend line here for you. You get this uptrend as well as you can turn this into a little bit of a channel. If you draw the upper trend line, it's not perfect, but you can see this upward trending channel in AMC. Now we've had a few wicks tease the shorts and the bears into going short or the longs into selling their positions as we poked through this trend line on these opening candle wicks, but those with diamond hands held on and were very rewarded on the 18th. As you can see, massive green day, then sideways, big gap up. Lots of volume today on the open, and we're just selling off. What's going to happen? Is AMC done? Is it happening again? Is this big move that happened last year and what happened early 2021? You guys know all the meme stock stuff. Is that happening again? Well, here's the question. There's this massive downward trending line on the daily chart from this wedge that broke down in AMC. From this initial move in AMC in 2021, from the massive move that AMC had, and then it consolidated in this sideways triangle, broke down out of the triangle. I actually took this one short as it broke under, retested the triangle from underneath, and then broke down, took some puts on that one, made a lot of money, brought it all the way, rode that one all the way down to around $15 per share. It was nice. We had the second spike, all creating this beautiful downward trending line. You could see the same line that I had drawn in, I actually had to extend it. It was just for this triangle to watch it break down on this trade, extended that line, and look at this. Perfect test on the daily candle here. The body could not close above it, even though there is this much momentum. So this is a very strong downward trending line. Well, we are approaching that line again. You can see there's a little bit of hesitation as we get close to that level. Now, are we going to test the level and reject it again? Or is this the time that AMC finally spikes up? Well, one thing you have to be careful with AMC is it likes to wick through things. As I showed you, that lower channel line has been wicked through on the opening candles a few days in a row, as well as this big wick up here coming through the main trend line that we're looking at today. Don't get faked into this move, but you can play the pop on this move. So how to trade AMC is momentum, momentum, momentum. That is the key. AMC, you can never really predict whether it's going to end green or end red on the day. Like today, massive gap up. We're thinking, oh, this is great, good volume. This is the day. We had this big green candle out of the open with good volume. The stock is starting to run, but it doesn't even make it to 18 whole number and it just turns around. And then we got the sell-off throughout the rest of this morning and afternoon, as you can see. Well, that doesn't mean the momentum's necessarily done. This is just a breather. You can see a little bit of a triangle forming, a wedge, if you will, forming here in the stock. So this stock, one, momentum, momentum, momentum. Play the momentum. Don't try to guess. If it's coming down, then it will probably continue coming down. If it's going up, it'll probably continue going up unless there's a reason for it to change directions, such as testing a resistance level like this upward trending line. So don't get wicked into that move, but if it does spike up and blow through that trend line, then you can consider taking that one long or buying calls. Another thing to keep in mind with AMC when it is volatile like it has been lately is to not hold on to your options. I know a lot of you AMC traders are trading options on this one. Don't hold on to them too long. Have a set risk. That's number two with AMC. Just like number one, momentum, 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 when it moves against you. And number two is going to be use your stops and respect them, because AMC, once it starts running, it runs. It runs. You can see this. It started running, but in the downward direction, it started falling and it just didn't stop. We got this little dead cat bounce and just continued down. Or yesterday with this bullish move, we thought, oh, it's coming down. It's dropped more than 50% of that initial green move. Nope, it's going and gone. right? So when it builds that momentum, there's a lot of retail traders that hop on the back of that momentum, and even some institutional volume coming in that hops on the back of that momentum and drives it just a little bit further. That brings you to number 3. If you are in a trade in this one and you are profitable, just like you have to respect your stop losses, respect your targets, set good targets, but allow the trade to move beyond your target if there is strong momentum. One way you could do this is looking at your level 2. If you have a lot of buyers, you can see right here by my head, the level 2, if you have a lot of volume coming in on the bid and not much on the ask, that shows there's a lot of buying power pushing the stock price forward, up, which is what you want if you're long. Or if you're short or have puts, then you would want to look at the opposite. A lot of volume coming in on the ask, not much coming in on the bid. You want to see the price changing in your favor as well. In review, we have momentum, 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 respect your stops, and let your winners run, because the momentum carries these moves far. So make sure you maximize your profits, because you might get stopped out a couple times trying to trade this one. That brings us to number 4. The fourth and final tip on how to trade AMC stock is have fun with it. Don't go crazy with all of your buying power. AMC is volatile. Even if you respect your stop, it could spike through in the options because of the volatility. The option prices, if you're trading options, even the stock price changes by large percentages, but especially with options, you can get these large percentage spikes against you. And all of a sudden, before you know it, you're down 50%. So make sure to not use too much of your capital or your buying power when trading this one, because it can be very volatile, even if you're trying to respect your stops. So that is how to trade AMC stock, whether you're trading the stocks or the options. Again, in review, momentum, 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 respect your stops, let your winners run, and don't use too much of your buying power in this one, because it can be very volatile. I showed you the key resistance level that we're looking at. I'm going to plug in here. We're also looking at key support levels. So now that you know how to trade this one, let's look at key support and resistance levels. We know about the trend line. We just looked at that. Now we have, I'm just gonna draw these out and you can see all the tests: support, resistance, support, kind of a supply and demand zone here. Clear resistance, clear as day, clear resistance. And then we blew through it. So we have a strong support level here. Currently, this acts as a support level because it is below the current price, 1575, but it is an SR level, support and resistance. It has been tested as both at least 3 times in total tests as either support or resistance. So this is a strong level that we want to consider. We are also going to look at this level. You can see these tests here around 1410. Now we can call this one a bit of a zone around 14 whole number, because a lot of these wicks are poking through. So 14 whole number is important, but it acts as more of a zone between, I would say, 14 and 1410. So consider this zone here. All right. If you don't know about supply and demand zones, there will be a link in the description of a blog post that's super easy to follow. Lots of visuals and how to read the supply and demand zones. So make sure to check that one out. More support levels. We have this here. I'm just going to draw these in. You can see the levels. You can see where they're testing. This is based off of recent price action. If we go to further price action back here, we can see how they hold up. You can see rejection, support, support, a little bit of a supply and demand zone here. This candle and a little bit of this red candle, but obviously the open gapped up a little bit right here. But this is a test and a rejection. That seems to be working. This gap up was held back by this level. Lots of tests of these levels, and then we have a couple more that we can add, but I don't see the stock going down this far right now. Let's look at what you all want to know, I'm sure, is resistance levels. How high can this go if it breaks this trend line? Well, we have a few resistance levels up here. I'm going to make these ones red so that you know that they are resistance. We have one right around here. Now, I like to prioritize bodies over wicks because it takes the entire time frame of the candle to set in the opening and closing price of that candle, i.e. the body. However, with wicks, it could just be one order of 10 shares that spikes the price up. Are you going to base your entire SR level off of a wick of what, 10 shares? Who knows how many? Obviously that's an exaggeration, but you get the point. So I like to prioritize bodies. I will notice if there are wicks that are being tested. Like right here, I put it on the body, but then I notice there's a body, a wick, this body and wick, this wick, close test on this wick, this body, here's the level, around 20.85. So that's a resistance level to keep an eye out for. There's another one right in this little zone here. This is a bit of a zone as well, between 17 and 1850, I would say, between 17 and 1850. Now, I'm using Webull. If you're unfamiliar with how to use Webull, feel free to leave a comment below and I could give you a tutorial on how to use this software. And then more resistance levels up here. We have this, all this price action is very sloppy. So I'm going to go to the top of that price action where this tested, as well as this test right here. That's around 30 whole number as the psychological level, but the horizontal level, the actual horizontal line that has been tested multiple times, is at $30.20 roughly. So there's not much SR in between those. There is some price action in here, but it isn't tested enough times. I guess there's this wick here and this body rejected here and a little bit here. So I guess we can add in that one around 25.36. Now these are just placed in very quickly. Roughly, they might be off by a penny or two. So don't base your entire trade plan off these, but just know that these levels exist. The gray as support, the red as resistance, and keep in mind that this one here is a zone. So that is the support and resistance levels in AMC to conclude section 2 of this video. Now that you know about what's happening with AMC and its current price action, tips on how to trade AMC and the current horizontal support and resistance levels, the last section of this video is a quick segment of advice for me as a long-time trading mentor. I've been mentoring for over 6 years now. I used to trade for my full-time income. I since switched over to focusing on education, building out my school of Inlight to teach total well-being in all areas of life, not just trading and not just personal finance. Here are a few pieces of advice for those of you beginner traders, especially who are looking to trade AMC. Do not follow hype. If you're looking through StockTwits, you're looking through Reddit, wherever you're looking and you see a bunch of people building up hype, just keep in mind these are people without an identity. They're completely anonymous, just typing on a keyboard. All it takes is a little bit of typing away on a keyboard, pressing enter, and you're done to get that message across. Now, if enough people do that, it can build up this hype and build up some social momentum around these stocks. That's how the meme stocks became known as meme stocks, right? Because they were a meme, an internet phenomenon on social media. Don't buy into this hype because there are still institutional traders out there. There are large short positions. Yes. Does that mean that there could be a short squeeze? Could there be a mother of all squeezes as people have been asking me in my live stream? Absolutely, these things are possible. Are they likely? Again, as I answered in my live stream, not necessarily likely, but they are possible. Not probable, but possible. Absolutely. Almost anything is possible in the market. Don't buy into all of this hype. Trade your system, stick to your trading rules. And if there is some move happening that doesn't fit your rules or your system, don't force a trade. There are plenty of other opportunities in the market. Preserve your capital, preserve that amount of money that you depend on for your trading. Don't lose it all trying to chase after some move, which brings me into the next piece of advice. Don't chase a move. Like I said, momentum is key in this stock of AMC. However, you don't want to chase this momentum because as you saw from yesterday's chart, you can get a massive green move. Imagine buying up here. Let's say you buy, you see it breaks over 16, is coming up, it's testing 1650, coming close, right? And you buy up here and then it drops down. Say you're trading options and you purchase calls, you can lose 40-50% just on a move like this. I'm not kidding. And if you're trading this stock, that's still a 40-cent move down. You don't want to get caught in anything like that. Don't chase the momentum. Stick to your plans, stick to your system, look for patterns, trade those patterns, do all the things you would normally do. Even though this is a meme stock that can really be volatile and have a lot of momentum, you do have to be careful. So that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I hope you learned something from this. That is, at the end of the day, my goal. I just want all of you making money, not losing money. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to click that subscribe button, click like if you genuinely liked it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, rest of your weekend, rest of your month, and happy trading. Don't lose all of your money. Big wins, small losses. That's the key.